Hey y'all, today we are going to talk about how I choose my curriculum for my kids. Right now in our homeschool we have a 11th grader. We're at the end of the school year, but right now for the end of the school year, I have an 11th grader and a 6th grader and a preschooler. So I'm at the point right now where I'm looking for curriculum for a 12th grader, a 7th grader, and a kindergartner. So I just wanted to kind of talk about the stuff that I get questions about. People ask, what curriculum are you using? And some people seem confused when I don't tell them that I'm using just one curriculum and that I mix and match and piece together things. And then a lot of people do wonder about the high school. You get I could never, do high school homeschool because I don't know what they need. I don't know what to get, and I'll just do it wrong. So on that line, let me just go ahead and start this off by saying that you need to check your state's laws on homeschool. I'm in North Carolina. The laws are pretty relaxed, but a good place to go and check that is I'll put it down in the description. It is a great resource to use. They've got all kinds of information there, but the biggest thing as far as that goes is you could go and check your state laws. They've got a link right from the homepage to go check your state laws, and it'll tell you all the basics about your state, what the requirements are or are not. So some states do require you to teach certain subjects. And I think some states you have to check in with the local school board or whatever, like turn in or keep on record report cards and things like that. So every state is different. You need to go and check to make sure that you're following that and make sure you have no guidelines or rules that you have to follow as far as the curriculum that you choose. But for what I'm going to be talking about is North Carolina. And there are no requirements. There are no requirements on what curriculum you have to use or when you have to teach what at all. The only rules in a homeschool is that you have to keep records, yearly tests on record. You have to have your child registered if they are age 7 or above. In the school year that they start, you have to make sure that they are registered with the state, with your homeschool, and you have to do a reasonable amount of days in, it was either 9 or 10 calendar months of the year. Very relaxed in North Carolina. That could be good, that could be bad, but for this case, it's good that we get to choose our own curriculum because that works really good for kids that learn different than other kids, which is every kid. So what I do is when I started, and I'm kind of more focused on the high school for this one. So I've got a rising 12th grader, senior this coming year that I'm buying books for. So what I did way back, and I'm going to show you what I have. I have a spreadsheet for everything. So I'm going to pull this up. Way back when she started in 9th grade, I was scared to death that I was going to do something wrong. So I was looking up I know I didn't have to follow it, but I looked up the requirements for North Carolina public school graduation. So my 12th grader, and if you go back, I'll try to find the link to the North Carolina Department of Education if you want to look at that for yourself. I don't follow it exactly. I'm not saying that she has to have, or that any of my kids have to have exactly what the public school has, because we are not. It's not going to be the same stuff. But I'm getting it close, so that she's not just I don't want any of my kids, a transcript to look just crazy compared to all the other kids. If they go to apply to college somewhere or something that they need their transcript for, I don't want it to look like the stereotypical homeschool transcript. I want it to look like they've actually got, they've learned something. So what I did was, when she was going into 9th grade and I was scared to death we were going to mess something up, I looked up what the requirements were and I made a plan for all 4 years. So I looked at what the requirements were, and this is what it looks like. If you want a copy of this, I've got a Google Doc spreadsheet. If you want a copy of this, I can send you one. Just put it in the comments. What am I going to call this? Schedule or something? Yeah, schedule maybe. It's kind of a schedule. So comment that and I'll send you a link to it. So what I did here, see if I can pull this up where you can actually see it. Can I do that? All right. So I had her a block, and this was kind of copy and pasted. So I took out her information. I did a block for 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And the ones that are in gray were the required ones. So you've got math, English, history, science, and then I have electives, whether I filled those blocks in or not, because that was what was going to be required. and I looked at how many credits were needed, and I do have another spreadsheet that was, whoops, I clicked some, that is laid out a little bit different. I don't always use this one, but this one was a little bit cleaner because I've been adding so much stuff to the other one. So the ones that are in gray, math has a required 3 credits plus an elective. So we had math highlighted for all of them. I needed 4 maths. Sorry, this keeps going in and out. I keep moving, so that makes it worse. And then I think it was science has 3 required. So there was 1, 2, 3 science, and then she did not have 1 required for 12th grade. So that's kind of how I do it. I did that plan, and if you were looking at what I had wrote down on some of those, it's not what we did, because that was like my rough draft when I first started, and I would go and look at that and then go add it to my other one that I was talking about that was all kind of, it's kind of crazy. I've got so much stuff on it, the one that I use regularly. So I did that, and I mapped out a plan. Like, I looked, and North Carolina Public School had to have, like I said, it was 3 maths plus an elective math, or like a your career path math or something like that. And then there were 3 sciences, 4 histories, and the histories were American history, world history, and they have split civics and economics up. So we did a world history, American history for high school, world history, American history, world geography, and then she's doing civics and economics together in 1 credit for next year. But they've got that split up where civics is 1 credit and economics is 1 credit. And the economics is kind of like a personal finance, but she's doing personal finance this year in 11th grade. So that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be exactly, but I'm trying to make sure she has most of the main points covered that she would need if she had a public school transcript and diploma. So I mapped that out at the beginning of 9th grade, and now that we're in 12th grade, we just have to fill in what's left. And for next year, she needs the civics and economics and 1 more history credit. She needs an English credit because there are 4 English credits needed for high school. And I'm saying needed. It is not necessary if you're homeschooling. There is not actually a requirement to get a diploma if you're homeschooled. I'm just saying needed to keep us in line with the credits for North Carolina Public Schools. So we're going to get her 1 more English credit, the 1 more history credit. I wanted her to take civics and economics anyway. And then she needed 1 more. What was it? They require a health class, a health credit, and CPR. And we're actually going to do a CPR class with my church this coming Saturday. So we're going to put that, that counts. She's going to get certified with CPR this coming Saturday. So that'll go on her transcript. That'll be part of that, which was great because I was trying to figure out where we were going to go get that done at. And that's all she needs for 12th grade is those 3 credits. I don't know. She will do choir. I have counted choir as a half credit every year because she sings. And the amount of hours that she spends doing the singing at church and in the choir and special singing, I count that as a half credit. So she's gotten a half credit of choir every year. So she will have that. And I don't know if I'm going to add anything else on. She was talking about adding stuff, but I don't know that we're going to do that because I'm not sure she's going to want to spend the time on that. So we'll see. But that was how I did the high school. I do not have good records of what she did in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. If I go back and rack my brain, I could probably remember all of it, but I don't have a good record of it like I do her 9th to 12th, what we're going to be doing coming up. Because I started keeping that record for transcripts, and then I also started keeping a record of my younger daughters, which she was only in 1st grade when my oldest daughter went into 9th grade. Wait. 6th grade. She was only in 1st grade when my oldest daughter went into 6th grade, so didn't really need to start keeping the records. But now I also keep those records for myself just so I can go back and look at and remember, because I can't remember all this, which curriculum we did. Because I don't just use 1 curriculum, I don't remember every year what we've done. We switch between different things. We have done Life Pack, which is Alpha and Omega publications. We've done ACE PACES. We've done Apologia, master books, teaching textbooks. I'm going to forget one. Berean Builders. So many different curriculums that I know I've left some out. BJU, we've done that one. I'm going to keep thinking of stuff after, into this video. I'm just going to blurt out a name of curriculum we've used that I remember. So I keep a record of that so that I can go back and say, okay, well, we did Master Books Science year before last, and this last year we did BJU science, but she didn't really like it that much, so maybe we'll go back to master books, and while I'm online shopping, I'll go and look at master books and see what the next coming up grade level, science would work for that, and I just kind of go kid by kid, subject by subject. I look at my list of what we have done. I know what's working, what's not working. If they haven't been really that happy with it this past year, I'll look at a different curriculum. And one of my main things is if they're happy with the curriculum and it's working, they're learning, they're staying caught up with their schedule, they're not getting loaded down and having to work for hours on something, one subject a day, which is way too much, then I'm going to stay with what's working. We will stick with master books is a big one that we use a lot of, and not grass. That was another one, not grass history. We've been moving toward those a lot this last year, and I think we're going to stay with those for next year. And they work, so if it works, I'm not going to change it. if they're learning and they like it, we're going to stick with it. And the master books is pretty affordable. I like it for that reason too. I do have a copy of a transcript. If you would also like to see a copy of that, I can send you a link for the transcript I've got. It was one that I had gotten from somebody else, and then I kind of moved some things around on it and kind of made it my own, but you're welcome to get a copy of that. I can send that to you, just comment transcript. It won't be an instant email send off thing. I'll have to go through the comments and I'll send it to you. You can give me your email address or something, or I will just give you the link. I may put the link in the comments. I don't know. I'm new to doing the Google Sheets and Google Docs sharing thing. So if you don't see it in the a pinned comment, then go ahead and leave a comment and I'll try to get it to you. But the transcripts, I've not been the best on keeping up with those. I've got to get my daughter's transcript up to date. But I do have a copy of one of those to use. And for my younger daughter, there's different aspects of the high school or choosing her curriculum, and then the elementary and middle school when choosing the curriculum. It's different and hard in its own ways, because high school, I'm trying to make sure that she has equivalent, to make it look similar to a public school transcript, and then so I kind of know what she needs, and I mapped out that plan at the beginning of 9th grade, so I kind of know what she needs every year. With my younger daughter, especially 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, piecing things together when I was trying to get away from having a full box curriculum because it is expensive to do it that way. I was worried that I wasn't going to get them what they needed from year to year, that I was going to have them studying the wrong thing or not enough of something, because there are some curriculums that you get and you need to add stuff to it. It's just core stuff, and then you have to, the English that we're doing this year with my 6th grader, I've had to add some to it because it don't have a lot of extra stuff with it, and I wanted a little bit of extra stuff. That's in one of my video reviews of her master books language. We've added our own literature to it, so there's some stuff that you have to add to. And with hers, I was worried, and I would look up you can go to look at the scope and sequence of different curriculums, and I would look to see what they were teaching in each grade level, and then compare that to what I was getting for the year to make sure that was in everything. But you honestly don't have to do that. Every curriculum kind of has their own line that they follow, their own sequence of things that they learn in each grade, and some of them are very similar, some of them are different, so you just kind of have to look at what works for you. You may look at 6th grade science in one curriculum is studying plants and animals, and then that same grade in another curriculum is studying earth science, outer space and elements and things like that. So you kind of have to look at those, look at the different grade levels in order. And it has happened with me that I'll be looking at one curriculum to another. So say in 4th grade, you studied animals and science in one curriculum, and then in 5th grade, maybe this curriculum didn't work, so you wanted to go to another curriculum. And in 5th grade, they're studying animals again, and you didn't want to do that again, so that wouldn't really work for you. You have to go look for another curriculum, unless you want to stick with doing animals 2 years in a row. Something that I like to do is alternate, especially history. I will alternate world history with U.S. history. I don't want them to get stuck on, learning things not related to our country and totally losing out on the things that they need to know about their home country. So I try to alternate between the world history and U.S. history, and that's worked out pretty good. And then also, if you have kids that are close in age, you can have them do the same curriculum. There are some books that have like a family style where you can do multiple grades with one book. And then there's different books that are like student-led, and then there's some that are teacher-led where you are teaching the lesson to your kids, and that would work great for doing multiple kids with one book, and they can learn the same thing at the same time. So we gear more toward the student-led books. There's just so many, there's so many different curriculums and so many styles. You've got spiral style learning, you've got mastery style learning, and you just have to do the research on it. If you're not sure about what curriculum to pick, a good thing or something that I used to do would be go and look at a specific curriculum. Christianbook.com is a good website that I still use to this day. I was just looking at it today. Christianbook.com, I'll put a link in the comments, and you can search their homeschool books by subject, or when you click the homeschool button, it'll show a list of all different curriculum brands, and just pick one and then pick the grade level that you're looking for, and it'll show you all the books available for that grade. Or you can read those names of those different curriculum like Apologia, Master Books, ACE, Abeka, so many different ones. You can just pick one of those and then go to their specific website, like get off the christianbook.com and then go to their specific website. Like Master Books is laid out very clearly. You can go to Master Books, hit their shop icon, and then it'll pull up by grade or by subject. And it's laid out very easy to read. If you go by subject, it'll show you elementary, like you say, you click math, and then it'll show you elementary math, middle school math, and high school math. And it's laid out, again, it's very easy to read, and you can look and see what they offer for, elementary. Click into it, and it'll show you, like, this is good for K through 2nd, or this is good for 3rd through 6th, or something like that. And that's how I have went through and chosen our curriculum, is going between christianbook.com and then finding the specific website of that specific curriculum, and also looking for something that they're interested in. Like with my high schooler, I've given her some option. I've told her what she has to take, and I'll let her choose which year to take it. For the most part, some of it was like I told her she needed to wait another year or two, and then the other ones it was like, okay, do you want to take world history this year or world geography? And then that was something that I tried to do with both of my girls. When my oldest daughter picked world history, I did a world history for my younger daughter. When she picked, when it was time to do world geography or U.S. history, then I let my younger daughter do a U.S. history curriculum. That way it I kind of have the same, having so many different books, different subjects, and different grade levels. I've only got 2 right now really doing anything, so having more than 2 would be even more mind-boggling. So keeping them kind of on the same subject or the same theme kind of helps me and my brain to be able to help them when they go to like their projects and doing their activities and things that they have to do. That's another one that I use. If you don't have a set curriculum you have to use with your kids, I try to keep them using the same thing. And then if you use the family style learning, that works even better because they are literally doing the same book. I will put a link also in the description for Master Books and Knotgrass, and I'm trying to think if there's another one. I do have affiliate links to those, so if you want to go through my links to do some shopping, that would help me out. That would be great. We use Knotgrass. I will be using Knotgrass for next year. I don't have any of my books bought for next year, but I will be doing the curriculum reveals and then the flip-throughs of each individual one in the next few weeks. I'm about to start ordering curriculum. So we're going to be using both of those, and we really like it. We'll be doing teaching textbooks again. That's an online app for math. My youngest daughter uses that. Didn't work for my older daughter. Again, we get to choose what we use. It did not work for one kid, but it worked for another, and it is still working, so we're going to stick with it. If you have any questions about anything else that I left out that I may have not mentioned about choosing the curriculum, you are welcome to put it in the comments, and we'll try to help each other on that, because this gets kind of stressful when you're picking out curriculum. It's probably, Well, I know it's not as difficult as we make it out to be. I know personal experience that you get worried that you're not getting the right thing, or you're not getting enough, or you're getting too much. So if you have questions, concerns, put them in the comments and we'll all talk about it and try to help each other out. And I will see you in the next video.